So after waiting a while, Bonelab Fusion has finally come out. Hey everyone, Grimshaw here, and today we'll be taking a look at Bonelab Fusion. I know, I'm a little late to this mod. That's because life has gotten pretty crazy and very busy for me, but I was able to finally put my review in now that I got the time to do so. So the last few of my videos didn't really have me talking in them or even trying something new like this, so I wanted to try something a little different this time. As you can see, I got a new character here to make my videos a little more interesting. So anyways, let's get right into it. So you're probably asking, what is Bonelab Fusion? Bonelab Fusion is a total conversion mod that adds in the ability to, well, play Bonelab with your friends.
What up, son?
There were different ones before Fusion, of course, like its multiplayer mockup, which was, at its time, the only mod you were able to play multiplayer with your friends. But it wasn't the same. See, multiplayer mockup had its fair share of issues, such as objects desyncing and
Oh my god. Holy
other stuff. While the game was meant for only single player, it's understandable that these kinds of mods wouldn't work too well without taking a lot of time, maybe even years before perfecting it. I mean, look at Skyrim Together. As cool as it is, it took the developers 5 years to make, and the game only came out 11 years ago. Next we got Bonelab Junction, which worked a little more better. Okay, a lot better than mockup. But it still had some issues, of course, such as syncing issues as well. But then, the next best mod was coming out earlier this year. That mod being Bonelab Fusion. What makes Bonelab Fusion much different and more superior to the previous multiplayer mods starting off is the desync issues that the older mods had in the beginning. While of course I'm not trying to be rude saying those mods suck or anything, they take a lot of time to create and isn't an easy task. Fusion is able to sync just about anything, and I mean anything. From shooting weapons to grabbing other players, map triggers and events.
You son of a bitch, what have you done? Oh my god, my fucking hands just broke.
This, and so much more. You can even join public lobbies and play with others if you wanted to.
Don't touch me! Do not touch me!
Do you remember me?
Stay away!
Joel! Oh shit!
Well, if it isn't too chaotic. Now, of course this mod must have taken a lot of time to make, and 5 months?! Yep, development was that quick compared to Skyrim Together. Then again, Bonelab isn't too open of a game. So yes, everything feels perfect with this mod, and we've only hit the tip of the iceberg. Gameplay can be just as you'd imagine. Basically Bonelab, but with friends. You'll pretty much be able to do just about anything that you do in there normally, with your friends or even others. You can go into Sandbox and build anything you want, or you could go into the arena and fight waves of enemies alongside your buddies, or even play through the entire campaign if you'd like. Not only that, Fusion also adds support for different layers, meaning that if someone was playing on Oculus PC, you can switch layers and join them if you please. And for those who like to host public lobbies, there are plenty of options to help you customize your experience so you don't get any trolls or grievers, such as disabling the constraint tool, which, you guessed it, can work on players and will make you completely immobile. But anyways, Fusion isn't just another multiplayer mod for a single player game. At least in my eyes, it's more than just that. Starting off with the campaign, Fusion does great at adding support for co-op. It'll add things to accompany everyone. For example, instead of just one minecart during the minecart level, Fusion adds more number of carts depending on how many players are with you, as well as go-karts during the Monogon Raceway level. So you'll finally get to play Mario Kart in VR.
Holy shit. What the fuck are you doing in my car?
What the fuck? I'm not in your car.
At least what's close to it. Co-op is also a great way to build your trust with others. At times where I needed some help climbing, or close to falling, there was always a helping hand to grab onto. Oh, and Fusion also adds in Gacha Ball support. What I mean for that is, if you already grabbed a Gacha Ball, it'll come up as gray, so you know that you already grabbed it, and you should be able to collect it once again so your friends unlock another item to keep in the collection. There are a few bugs we came across during our gameplay, such as incorrect or broken lighting, map events not triggering unless the host does, and even one moment where I managed to crash the game by shooting a box. I thought I was recording it at the time, but I wasn't, and you know what they say, they don't believe it until they see it. But I did use a modded weapon, so that's kind of my fault. So, sorry. Now that we covered just about everything that there is to offer... Wait, there's actually more things that Fusion offers that I forgot to mention. Let's see what else is packed in this mod. Fusion not only offers things to help support the base game for players, but adds in new stuff that isn't normally in the game at all. Starting with game modes, Fusion adds in the ability to play different game modes with your friends. There's currently only 3, but I'll explain. Fusion offers Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, making it so you can enjoy killing your friends either casually or competitively. And by saying that, I totally did not get added to the FBI list for taking things out of context. While playing these game modes, they are also accompanied by Fusion's own original soundtrack that you could listen to on YouTube. I'll link it below. But if you get the chance, you should take a listen to them while in game, if you're able to. And the next game mode is Entangled. Well, that sounds like Boneworks' old multiplayer mod. Entangled is actually quite what you wouldn't expect. That's right, you are tied and constrained close to a partner. So Entangled partners you up with a random partner that's in your lobby, and your movement is limited. That is, if you two don't work together. You must both move at the same time. If one of you stops moving, you stop moving. This kind of reminds me of one of those old polar opposite kind of movies, where one person gets stuck with the other, and they'll have to work together to accomplish their goal, all while learning to grow with each other. Fusion also offers its own SDK kit, so you'll be able to make your own custom game modes if you have the programming knowledge. There was one last thing I forgot to mention. When you play these game modes and finish them, Fusion will give you bits. Bits are a form of currency in-game that you could use to pimp yourself out, ranging from hats to glasses to even particles that you could wear. It might be broken for some custom avatars, but I think it's a pretty cool feature to add in. Now this one isn't really part of Fusion, but it is a mod I would recommend for players that don't have the same mods. Created by Not Swipes, who also created the multiplayer mockup, created a mod that would allow users to download their mods while in game and load without having to click and drag a zip file, or even having to reset their game. You'll be able to download whatever the host mods may be subscribed to on mod.io, if they have the networker mod too, that is. And is subscribed to the mods, of course. You should be able to download them for yourself, so you no longer have to see polyblank models or even invisible weapons that you never know if you're gonna get shot at or not. After playing through this mod, I gotta say, it is a really amazing mod that I look forward to seeing more updates on. Bonelab may not have gotten the best reviews as Boneworks did, but now that Fusion is playing a role within the modding community, that may change really soon. No longer would you have to be alone and basically talk to a brick wall for as long as you play the game. Now you can enjoy it with just about anybody. The future of Bonelab is really exciting, and I cannot wait to see where it'll go within the next few years from now. Maybe it'll even be more popular than it is right now, but until then, only time will tell. I'm Grimshaw245, and thanks for watching. Also, don't forget to check out my Ko-fi page. I work on stuff such as modding for games and other creative projects. There's no need to tip, but the support is appreciated.